You know those little phrases people throw around every day, seemingly harmless, almost polite, but somehow leave you feeling tangled up inside? Like you just walked into a conversation that's a mind maze without an exit sign. Well, it turns out that some of these innocent-sounding lines are actually sneaky little mind controllers. They tiptoe right past your conscious guard and mess with your emotions before you even realize what hit you. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on those phrases, expose how they subtly hijack your thoughts and feelings, and most importantly, how you can take your power back. Ready? Let's dive in. First up, the emotional fast food of modern life. I'm fine. Spoiler alert, it rarely means what it says. Let's be honest, I'm fine is emotional duct tape. It holds things together just enough so the roof doesn't cave in during small talk, but underneath, storms brewing. If I'm fine were a weather forecast, it'd be partly cloudy with a 99% chance of suppressed feelings. Or maybe tornado watch, disguised as a sunny emoji. You get the idea. We use it because it's fast. It's clean. It doesn't ask for follow-up questions. But here's the thing. It also shuts the door on emotional intelligence. I'm fine is like telling your brain, let's just sweep this under the rug and pretend it's modern art. We say it to avoid conflict, to dodge vulnerability, or just because we don't have the emotional bandwidth to explain what's really going on. It's the fast food of emotional expression, quick, easy, and ultimately unsatisfying. And if you're trying to build better relationships, at home, at work, even with your barista, this tiny phrase is a time waster in disguise. It forces people to become emotional detectives, trying to read between the lines of your tone, body language, and sighs per minute. Want a productivity hack for communication? Retire "I'm fine" from your vocabulary unless you truly mean it. Instead, try clarity over camouflage. Say things like, I'm frustrated, but I'm still figuring out why. I'm upset, but not ready to talk. I'm overwhelmed, need 10 minutes of silence and some minimalist living energy. That's emotional honesty. That's self-discipline in action. And that's how personal development actually happens, by naming what's real, not faking what's fine. Because here's the deal. Clarity saves time. And time, as any growth mindset junkie knows, is the ultimate renewable resource. Next up, the all-too-familiar dish served cold at family dinners and team meetings alike. You're too sensitive. 5 words that turn confident adults into insecure teenagers in under 5 seconds. Some phrases carry more weight than they seem. You're too sensitive is one of them. It sounds like harmless feedback. 5 casual syllables that can slip into any setting. Maybe it's said after a team meeting when someone voices discomfort with a passive-aggressive remark. Or during a family dinner when you speak up about an old wound that everyone else pretends never happened. It might even come during a simple disagreement, where instead of addressing your concern, someone tosses that phrase like a conversational grenade. But under the surface, it functions like a silencer. Not for volume, but for emotion. It makes people second-guess their own reactions, question their emotional reality, and shrink back from expressing what they actually feel. In the landscape of self-improvement, this phrase isn't just annoying. It's a form of subtle psychological manipulation. It dismisses emotional intelligence, undermines personal boundaries, and trains people to treat their own feelings like software glitches. But here's the thing. Sensitivity isn't a flaw. It's a signal. It's the emotional radar system that tells you something's off. And in a world that's constantly pushing for stoicism without the philosophy, we need to talk about why honoring that signal is not weakness. It's wisdom. And speaking of off, let's zero in on why that phrase hurts. So let's break down why they hit so hard and how a growth mindset helps us respond instead of react. Our brains are prediction machines. Whenever someone tells you you're too anything, your amygdala lights up like a Vegas strip, scanning memories for every moment you were too loud, too quiet, or too much. The negativity bias we evolved to dodge saber-toothed tigers now spikes at passive-aggressive comments during Zoom calls. Here's where self-improvement blends with Stoicism philosophy. Marcus Aurelius would remind us, the opinion of others is just that, an opinion. See what I did there? Daily Stoic in the house. A growth mindset reframes the criticism. Instead of shrinking, you ask, what can I learn here? And do I even need to? That tiny pause is your first hack for self-control, a micro-dose of self-discipline that keeps the conversation from hijacking your peace. All right, buckle up, because the phrase, "we need to talk," is the emotional equivalent of finding an IRS letter in your mailbox. 4 words, 0 context, infinite dread. Even if you juggle time management like a life coach on caffeine, your productivity hacks stall when you hear them. Why? Uncertainty. Your brain hates it more than slow Wi-Fi. Suddenly you're replaying every missed deadline, every sarcastic text, every questionable karaoke choice. The speaker, meanwhile, holds all the cards. They've prepared. You're fumbling. The fix? Call the ambiguity out. Kindly. Try. Sure. Do you have something specific in mind? I want to make sure I'm prepared. You're reclaiming agency, sharpening how to focus under pressure. Remember, personal development isn't about dodging tough conversations. It's about steering them with clarity. Sliding down the guilt coaster, let's unpack the classic. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Oh, I don't know about you, but I'd rather someone throw a shoe at me than deploy that sentence. Disappointment hits you in the moral solar plexus, right where self-development and childhood memories meet. It paints you not as someone who made a mistake, but as someone who tarnished a relationship. Cue the brain health alarm, cortisol spikes, and reasoning plummets. Here's a mental life hack. Translate the phrase. When you hear it, reframe it to, you had expectations. I didn't meet them. Let's figure out why. Now you've transformed guilt into a growth mindset project. Actionable, measurable, less emotionally radioactive. Let's step into the world of office emails, where polite words sometimes throw not-so-polite punches. Phrases like, per my last email, basically mean, did you even read what I said? Just a friendly reminder often isn't that friendly. It's just someone low-key nagging you with a smile. And thanks in advance feels like emotional blackmail in a suit. You're expected to agree before you even respond. These little lines may sound harmless, but they wear you down. They drain your study motivation and make you second-guess yourself over simple requests. So here's your move. Respond with clarity. Try something like, sure, just confirming you need the Q3 report by Friday noon PST. That one sentence flips vague pressure into clear facts. You stay in control, protect your time management, and avoid emotional landmines. Remember, productivity hacks aren't always fancy tools or apps. Sometimes they're just smart boundaries hidden inside everyday conversations. From cubicles to coffee shops, behold the illusion of choice, a magician's trick for the everyday mind. Medium or large today? Side steps, whether you want coffee at all. Parents do it. Pajamas now or after brushing teeth. Bedtime is non-negotiable. Salespeople ask, cash or card? Skipping, leave the store empty-handed. This sleight of hand hijacks your growth mindset thirst for autonomy. Antidote? Ask for option C. Actually, I'll take a small, or I'm browsing, I'll let you know. Practicing that agency trains self-discipline and reminds you autonomy is a muscle. Use it or lose it. Now for the velvet-gloved phrases. I'm only telling you this for your own good, and its siblings with hidden strings. These lines dress up control as concern, like a life coach who never asked if you wanted coaching. Guilt is baked in. After all I've done for you. Or, you'll regret it later, if you don't. Here's a Stoic quote remix. Advice without consent is criticism in disguise. Next time, thank them and decide for yourself. I appreciate you caring. I'll think it through. That single sentence preserves personal growth while respecting the relationship. Diplomatic judo for the win. Finally, the smooth jazz of manipulation, agreeing without agreeing. Your coworker nods. I understand how challenging that must be. Sounds supportive, yet no commitment was made. Politics overflows with it. We all want what's best for our families. Vague empathy lowers your guard, inviting further self-disclosure. A data mining party disguised as connection. The antidote? Clarify. When you say you understand, do you also agree that we need more resources? Making ambiguity visible forces real alignment or reveals polite smoke. So, how do we armor up our emotional intelligence without turning into cynical robots? Start with self-awareness. The first principle of self-improvement and the bedrock of every life hack. Track your triggers. When a phrase spikes your heartbeat, label the feeling. Next, practice focused breathing. Psychology facts show it calms the amygdala in under a minute. Then run a Stoic filter. Is this within my control? If yes, act. If no, release. You're blending brain health science with ancient wisdom, the ultimate productivity hack. Let's get practical with time management and minimalist living strategies that keep mind control at bay. Schedule white space, pockets of unscheduled time, so unexpected emotions have room to breathe. Use the 2-minute rule. If a worry can be addressed in under 2, do it. Otherwise, park it on a list. Clear, physical clutter. Every item on your desk is a silent, per my last email. Minimalist living isn't an aesthetic flex. It's environmental self-discipline. The fewer distractions, the stronger your focus, and the smaller the target for manipulation. And that, friends, is how we turn sneaky phrases into springboards for self-improvement instead of emotional quicksand. If today's journey felt like conversational jujitsu with a side order of philosophy, hit that subscribe button and invite a friend along. After all, personal growth compounds faster when shared, kind of like interest, but with fewer bank fees. Join me next time on BetterMe, where self-improvement is serious, but we don't have to be.